Welcome to Cory's Stories. Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Climb up into your bed and make sure that you are comfortable. Turn the lights down so that you can relax in your room. Try and stay as still as you can. That way your body can slow down. Your mind can start to slow down too. As you listen to the story, hopefully you relax enough that you can fall fast asleep. Stephany had just got home from school. She'd had a really great day. One of those days where everything just goes right. She did good in her lessons. She got results back from one of her tests and it was great. She had a fun time at recess and at lunchtime with her friends. All in all, it was a really awesome day. She decided on the way home from school that she was going to go to Moonbow Forest. She wanted to go there and spread a little bit of joy with all of her friends. She showered off, changed into some comfortable clothes, sat down at her dressing table in her bedroom, and took a moment to smile at herself in the mirror. Stephany had been practicing this exercise where you just stare at yourself in the mirror. You don't stare at yourself because you think you're so awesome and look at me, I'm the best. You stare at yourself in the mirror and stare into your own eyes and just say nice things to yourself. Practice saying nice, kind, compassionate things to yourself. You look really nice today. I'm really proud of you. That thing that you did with Lisa, your friend, that was so kind. Stephany had been practicing saying things like that to herself for a while now. So she took a moment to look into her own eyes in the mirror and say, "You had a really good day today. I'm really proud of you for doing well on your test. You're a really good friend, Stephany. You should be happy about how you treat your friends." And when she'd spent a couple of minutes doing that, she finished and then opened up her jewelry box. She took out her magical earrings and looked down at them in her left palm. And then one by one, she put them on, closed her eyes and took a big, deep breath. By the time she exhaled, she could already feel the tingles in her body. That sweet rush of vibration and energy. She could feel it in her arms, her legs. She could feel it trickling up and down her spine. She could feel her cells moving and vibrating and changing so that she could adjust her frequency and travel through the veil into the other world. the other world that she calls Moonbow Forest. Her nose started to itch and twitch, and she rubbed it. She almost sneezed. One of those where it's there, but then it disappears. Keeping her eyes closed, she started to see with her inner sight the veil, the curtain that she always saw, that was the doorway between this world and that. The veil was shimmering. It was transparent like always, so she could see some shadows and shapes through it. She reached up and pulled it to one side so that she could step into Moonbow Forest. With her eyes still closed, she felt the grass underneath her feet. Her most favourite feeling in the entire world. The soft yet prickly grass, thick and lush. She smelt it. She smelt the trees. She smelt the air blowing her way with all the different sweet smells of Moonbow Forest. Pizza Mountain, Strawberry Milkshake Lake, the mint chocolate chip trees. She smelt all of it, and it made her shiver. She got a strong sense that she was home again, a feeling of complete happiness and safety rushed through her entire body. And she had the biggest smile on her face before she even opened her eyes. When she opened her eyes, she was there, in the forest, trees all around. But also, much to her surprise, she was staring down at two very, very cute unicorns. One of them was bright orange, and the other was bright yellow. They were like baby unicorns, toddler unicorns, you could say. They were only about as high as her mid-thigh, like a miniature pony. They were both very happy to see her. You know when a dog shakes his tail and his whole body shakes? He's so happy and pleased to meet you. That's what these two baby unicorns were doing. Stephany said, "Oh, hi! Hi, guys!" Both of the unicorns, before she could say another word, rushed forward and placed their foreheads in her face. She was trying to figure out how to put her forehead on one of their foreheads. How could she do both of their foreheads at the same time? She couldn't. So she reached forward and very quickly greeted the orange unicorn and then switched over and greeted the yellow unicorn. They both opened their eyes and stared at her, very excited. "We've been waiting for ages," said the yellow one. "We're so excited that you're here. Come on, we've got something to show you." Stephany said, "Hold on, wait a minute. What are you guys called?" "Oh, oh yeah," said the orange one. "Oh, my name's Peaches, and this is my sister. She's called Sorbet. Come on, we've got something to show you," said Peaches. The unicorns were overly excited, too excited. But their excitement was contagious, and before long Stephany found herself running after the two miniature, tiny, toddler-sized unicorns. They were giggling and laughing, and they were so happy, trotting away in front of her. She kept up with them, asking questions the whole time. "Where are we going? What are you guys doing? And why are you so happy? What are you so excited about?" Up ahead, in front, there was a little mound of dirt covered in flowers. Both of the small unicorns ran around the mound of dirt and disappeared behind it. Stephany followed. When she got round the corner, she found herself in a completely different part of Moonbow Forest. As if by magic, they'd entered into a secret compartment. A whole other world was behind the mound, with flowers on it. When Stephany got round the corner, she found herself on a beach. The first thing that she heard was the ocean, rushing up onto the pebbly beach, making lots of noise, as if it was shouting hello every time it reached up onto the shore. And then when it came and pulled itself back, it said, "Bye! Hello! Bye! Hello! Bye!" She'd never thought that the ocean made that sound before, but it was so obvious here in this place, so clear. And then she spotted the two unicorns, Peaches and Sorbet. They were eating the pebbles on the beach. Peaches said, "Come on, hurry up, watch this, watch this." Stephany ran over to where they were. The pebbles were all different colours, different shapes and different sizes. Some of them bright, some of them dull. Browns, creams, blacks, greys. The typical kind of colours that you would see on a pebbly beach. These pebbles were round and smooth, and the unicorns looked like they were very tasty. They were eating so many of them. Stephany said, "What's this part of Moonbow Forest called? I've not been here before." Sorbet said, "Oh, this is Chippy Bay. Chippy Bay's the best. That's where we come all the time." Stephany said, "What's so great about Chippy Bay?" Peaches said, "All of the beach is chocolate chips. Taste it." "Oh," said Stephany, "yummy." She reached down and grabbed a handful of the pebbles that the unicorns had been scoffing away on. Each one of the pebbles was a different flavoured chocolate chip. Vanilla, butterscotch, dark chocolate, salted chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, chocolate caramel. They were delicious. The chocolate was sweet, silky and creamy. Stephany had to admit that this chocolate was some of the nicest chocolate that she'd ever tasted. "It's delicious," she said. And then Stephany heard Peaches toot. Peaches giggled and carried on eating the chocolate pebbles. Then Sorbet tooted. And then Sorbet tooted again. And then Sorbet laughed so hard that she did this loudest toot. Stephany started laughing. "You guys, why are you tooting so much?" "It's the pebbles. That's their job," said Peaches. Peaches said, "You haven't noticed yet, have you?" Stephany said, "Noticed what? That you guys are tooting a lot?" "Yeah, I've noticed." Peaches said, "No, look." Peaches leant forward and ate big mouthful of the pebbles. And then she tooted again. But this time, when she tooted, she looked over her shoulder, as if to say, "Stephany, look what happens." So Stephany looked. And when she looked closely, she noticed a tiny little puff with each toot. A tiny little puff. It had a a bit of colour to it. It was transparent, you could see through it, but it had a bit of colour. The toots were pink. Just a shade of hazy pink. Sorbet started laughing and tooted 3 times in a row. Toot, toot, toot. 3 puffs of pink came out of her unicorn bottom. Then she laughed again. Both of them were swishing their tails around a lot, and she thought maybe that's part of it. That's part of what she was supposed to notice. But it wasn't, apparently. She found out later that the toots tickle when they come out, and that makes them want to swish their unicorn tails and stop the tickles from happening. But no, the toots were pink. Stephany didn't notice anything else, so she said, "Pink toots. Great." Peaches said, "No, no, 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 look closer." Stephany looked even closer at the pink toots. And then she saw it. Close up, these toots weren't just toots. They were tiny little pink fairies. Transparent, puffball fairies. They were round fairies and fluffy and puffy, like a little cloud. But they clearly had fairy faces and little wings and tiny little feet and tiny little noses and tiny little hands, and they made a sound. Whee! Every time she heard one come out. Whee! "I hear it," said Stephany. "I see it," said Stephany. "What are they?" Sorbet said, "The BB fairies." Stephany said, "BB fairies?" Peaches said, "Yeah, BB fairies." "What are BB fairies?" said Stephany. Peaches said, "BB fairies are bubble butt fairies. They're bubble butt fairies. Can't believe you've been coming here all this time and you've never met a bubble butt fairy. These are bubble butt fairies." Stephany giggled and said, "Well, actually, I've been coming here all this time and I've never really met with baby unicorns like you two." "Ah," said Sorbet, "that's probably it then. This is the magic. This is what happens. But you haven't seen it all yet," said Sorbet. "Watch this." Sorbet ate some more of the pebbles. Very quickly, within about 5 seconds, she tooted. Whee! Stephany heard the noise and then saw the little pink cloud, the tiny little BB fairy of puff pink light, came out of Sorbet's bum and up into the air. By now, there was about 20 or 30 of these tiny little puff ball fairies, the BB fairies, all hovering around, and then one of them rushed really quickly into Stephany's left ear, zoomed around inside of her head, and then zoomed straight back out of the right one. And it was the most unusual, weirdest sensation Stephany had ever felt. Stephany shook her head. "What was that?" she said. Peaches said, "That's what the BB fairies do." The BB fairies that were hovering all around now went into action. They were zooming through the unicorn's ears from left to right, from right to left, and they were also hovering inside of their mouths. "What are they doing?" said Stephany. And as she said, "What are they doing?" one of the little BB fairies came over and started to hover right there in front of her lips and started to move around her teeth. "What's it doing?" said Stephany, trying to talk while the little fairy was humming around inside of her mouth. Peaches had the biggest smile on her face. "That's their job," she said. "They're cleaners. They clean. They clean your ears, they clean your teeth. They clean anything that needs cleaning. That's what keeps the unicorn's ears clean here in Moonbow Forest. These little buddies. Aren't they awesome? Stephany said. Okay, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Here, right here, in Chippy Bay, a secret destination in Moonbow Forest. Here in Chippy Bay, on the beach, all of the pebbles are made of chocolate chips, right? Peaches and Sorbet nodded. They were keeping along. Okay, so then, the baby unicorns eat the chocolate chips, which are delicious, right? Peaches and Sorbet nodded once again. And then they digest in the baby unicorns and poof out with a little whee sound, a pink cloud. And on close examination, that pink cloud is not a cloud at all. That little pink cloud is actually a BB fairy. Bubble butt fairies, right? Peaches and Sorbet nodded. Correct. Okay, and then the little BB fairies, their job is to be cleaners, and they clean all of your ears, your teeth, your nose, whatever needs cleaning, here in Moonbow Forest. Sorbet said, Yes, exactly, but they only do it with unicorns. Oh, and you, it looks like. So they don't clean the rabbits, they don't clean the bumblebees, they don't clean the butterflies, they don't clean anything else that lives here? No, said Peaches. Nope, just the unicorns. I think it's part of the process. We eat the pebbles, we digest the pebbles, we make the wonderful little BB fairies, and then those BB fairies in turn clean us. Yeah, that's it. That's how it works, said Peaches. It's awesome, said Sorbet. Sorbet reached down and took a big mouthful. More, even more, chocolate chips, the pebbles on the beach. She chomped away at them, swallowed them, and within 5 seconds she tooted about 5 times. Toot, 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 toot. Wee, wee, wee. The little noises came through, and then the puffs of pink clouds came out of her bottom one by one, and then quickly went into action, zooming in and out of everyone's heads, through their ears, cleaning their teeth. Wee, 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 all around. There was like this frantic activity of cleaning. By now, without even asking, Stephany had had at least 4 different BB fairies zoom through her head. The sensation was so weird. It felt like a giant earbud going all the way from the left to the right, all the way through your brain and out the other side. But her ears felt so good afterwards. She could hear more clearly. She could hear everything more intensely, and her teeth were so sparkly clean. These little BB bubble butt fairies did the bestest cleaning job ever. This is the best, said Stephany. After about 10 minutes of getting used to it all, she settled in to the conclusion that Chippy Bay was a really cool part of Moonbow Forest. And this whole thing that transpires here is awesome. How come I've never been here before? Peaches? Sorbet? Where have you been all this time? The 2 unicorns giggled and laughed at each other. We were just waiting for the right time, said Peaches. Today is the right time, apparently. After a while, the unicorns stopped eating the pebbles, and the 3 of them just sat on the ground and watched the waves, saying hello, goodbye, hello, goodbye, over and over and over. It was a really pretty place. The sparkly blue, clear water, sun in the sky, the sound of the ocean. And Peaches and Sorbet were the cutest things in the entire world. They were even cuter than the BB, bubble butt fairies, and they were pretty darn cute. When Stephany got home later that night, she laid in bed and stared at the fan on the ceiling, thinking about Moonbow Forest and how it never ceases to amaze her, the things that turn up there. It's the wonderfulest, most spectacular place that exists, and she wished the whole world could experience it along with her. She took a deep breath and felt the gratitude. She felt how lucky she was to be able to visit this entire world, her secret place, the place that existed beyond this realm, Moonbow Forest. The end.